Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this for Advanced Algebra 2. This is Mr. Clendenin, so Mr. Patterson's classes may be watching this, so you're hearing my voice today. We have been finding sides and angles of triangles, but specific triangles that have right angles in them. And today what we're going to do is we're going to start to address the issue of how do we find sides and how do we find angles whenever we don't have a right angle. Well, there's two things we can do. One of them is called the law of sines, and another is called law of cosines. So today we're going to start to address the issue of finding angles and sides by using the law of sines. Okay? And again, your triangles may or may not have a right angle in them. And I don't think any of our examples today do, but they could have a right angle in them, but they don't have to. That's the thing with law of sines. And remember one thing from geometry, that your angles are you always use capital letters for your angles, and for your sides you always use lowercase letters. And then they're paired up. So this is angle A. Well, what side is opposite of it? Side A. We call that a combo. Okay, that's a combo of an angle and a side opposite of it. So angle B has side B opposite of it. That's a combo. And then same with angle C. It has side C opposite of it. Then what the law of sines simply says is if you take those combos, so if you take side A and angle A, and you create this fraction of the side divided by the sine of the angle. Okay, so notice how this is side A and this is angle A. And then over here we have side B and this is angle B. We do sine of angle B. And this is side C, we do sine of angle C. So if we pair those sides and those angles up, we create a fraction, a ratio. And with each combination of side and angle, we create a different ratio, but the key is they're all equal. So we can take any two of them, like we could take those two, set them equal to each other, and be able to cross multiply. And that's how we'll attack these problems. All right, so let me show you the law of sines in action here. Okay. So our first example, here's our triangle. Now, I went ahead and drew the picture for you. You could have been given this information. It could have looked like this. Remember, a capital letter means an angle. So whenever you see something like this, you need to know what it means. This means angle A is 20. Right there it is. Angle C is 43. Right there it is. Lowercase letter, so that side C is 7. And then you can just sketch your triangle. And your triangles don't have to be exact as far as, hey, this is an obtuse angle and acute angle. You can if you want, but you really just need to get everything put in the right spot so that you can look for your combo. So if we look here, we see we have a combo right there. We have an angle and a side opposite of it. So what do I do with those two? I pair them up. I say side of 7 divided by the sine of 43, or side C, which is 7, divided by the sine of angle C, which is 43. I pair them up and make a fraction. Now, do I have another combo? Well, no, but I would if I knew what side A was. So that's what we're going to do here. Forgot to actually tell you what we're going to find. We're going to find side A. We're going to find all sides today. Well, we have like half of a combo, so we could pair those up on the other side and we would say side A over top sine of angle A, which is 20. And all of a sudden we have created our, a proportion. Fraction equals fraction. And what can we do with the proportion? We can cross multiply. So we will multiply and get A times the sine of 43 degrees equals, the other direction, 7 times the sine of 20. And then to solve for A, we would divide by that sine of 43 degrees on both sides. And when we do that, let me write that down, what we have left. Because now we see what we should put in our calculator. And I'm going to tell you the safest way to punch this in your calculator. Okay, we have 7 times the sine of 20 in your numerator. So type that in, hit equal. Then just type in divided by the sine of 43. And if you do that, you should get what would round to 3.5. So see if you can get your calculator to tell you 3.5. Now I'm going to show you something else that comes in handy from geometry. We just found side A to be 3.5. So one thing you can look at here is which of these angles is bigger. Because if you remember from geometry, the bigger angle should have the bigger side. And that 43 is bigger. It has a 7. 20 is smaller than 43. Well, the answer we got was smaller than 7. So we can feel good about our 3.5. Okay. So again, that's the safest way to punch that into your calculator. But if you didn't get 3.5, try it again. Watch your parentheses. It may pop up that your calculator makes you enter. And see if you can't get 3.5. If you can't, let us know. All right, let's take a look at another one. Okay. Here we go. We have angle B equals 100. Angle C is 35. And we know side A is 12. Okay, so let's take a look. First thing we want to look for is, do we have any combos? Do we know an angle and a side opposite of it? Well, we don't know that combo. Okay, what about this combo? Do I know that combo? No. Well, what about that combo? No. Or do I? Wait a second, let's go back to that one. Do I know this angle? Well, here's something else from geometry. Remember, every triangle has 180 degrees in it total. We know we have a 100-degree angle. And we know we have a 35-degree angle. So we can simply subtract from 180, and what did I get? I got 45 degrees. So yes, we really do know this angle over here. Let me put it in there. We know this is 45. Then all of a sudden we know a combo. We know an angle and we know a side opposite of it. So let's use it. We would say 12 over the sine of 45. That's that combo. What's that equal to? We're going to find side B here. Well, we match up the combo that goes with side B. We would say side B would go over sine of angle B, which is 100. All right, we use our combos. This is what you're looking for to get started with law of sines. You need an angle, 45, and a side opposite of it. Now, we did have to subtract from 180 to find our 45, but we can do that. Once we have this proportion set up, okay, then we're just going to cross multiply. Now, when I cross multiply, I always start with whichever one has the variable in it. So I would do B times the sine of 45. It really doesn't matter. As long as, and in the other direction, I'd have 12 times the sine of 100. As long as you have 12 times the sine of 100 on one side and B times the sine of 45 on the other, you're okay. Then you just got to get rid of that sine of 45 that's being multiplied by your side B. And now you know exactly what you want to punch in your calculator. We just got to make sure we have our calculators figured out and how we can punch this in. Again, I would punch in my numerator, hit equals, leave that answer in there. It'll be a decimal, leave it in there, then hit divided by the sine of 45. Do that and see what you get. I got 16.7. Then I would go up and clean off my triangle up here. Now remember, this one was a 45, and we just got B to be 16.7. Well, notice how 100 is the biggest angle. It should have the biggest side, and it does. 16.7 is bigger than 12. So I feel pretty good about my 16.7. Okay? So that's what you're going to do today. You're going to have two homework problems where you have to find those sides. One of them you'll have to find that missing angle. So be prepared for that. And your homework, I went ahead and put it into the slide presentation. There's your two triangles. Hopefully they're not too small. You may have to zoom in. But find side C in the first one and find side B in the second one, and I have those labeled. I also, for my class, I do attach a hard copy of this. Okay? So good luck. Let us know of any problems. We'll talk to you tomorrow.